fire alarm.
Yes, he always dawdles a bit over his breakfast. Mr. Paul, if you've got a second, could I just have a word with you in private?
Yes, of course.
Well, it's about yesterday afternoon. I hope you didn't take Glenda seriously, you know, all that talk about her leaving and get another job. She's really very happy here, you know, and she's a very good worker. It's just that, well, her husband's away, you know, and she doesn't see very much of him, and she misses him.
Well, that's understandable.
So, as long as you didn't get the wrong impression or anything.
No. I don't want to lose a good waitress, but if she wants to be with her husband...
Oh, no. I mean, he's only away for a couple of months. It wouldn't be worth it, you see. They're saving up for a house of their own, and I mean, it would just be an added expense if she joined him for such a short time.
Well, where is she staying now?
Oh, at home with her father and me. They've been there ever since they were married.
Frustrating all round.
Oh, no. We loved having them, no. And when Kevin works at home here, well, there's no problem at all. But, of course, naturally, with him being away, she misses him, you know. So I hope you'll forgive anything she might have said.
I'm glad you told me, Mrs. Brownlow. And now that you have, we'll forget all about it.
We're
all capable of saying things we don't mean under pressure. I'm as guilty as the next.
Oh, I can't imagine you letting anything get you down.
Oh, you'd be surprised. I lost my temper with Shuey McPhee again this morning.
Oh, well, he's got toothache. Did you know that?
No, the poor devil. There you are, you see. Now it's my turn to apologize. I'd better get it over
well,
with.
No, as a matter of fact, I packed him off to the dentist. I hope that was all right. I mean, I knew we had a couple of hours before we need get lunch things ready, so he wouldn't have been much good anyway.
You actually persuaded Mr. McPhee to go to the dentist?
Yeah, the one in the village, you know, as an emergency patient.
Mrs. Brownlow, I sometimes think we don't make nearly enough use of your talents. You are wasted in the kitchen.
Oh, that reminds me. I better get back there, see if everything's all right.
Ah, on your way.
Not more toast, surely.
Oh, God, Eddie. Like heck it is. Die! Little old me.
What are you doing here?
I live here, don't I?
Yeah, but out of the blue.
Out of the... Don't talk to me about out of the blue. 2 hours ago, I was up above this lot thinking, dear old England. Then I've come down to earth with a bump. It's pouring with rain, the luggage handlers are working a dispute, and the rule is I get my cases last. Ooh, I could murder a cop or something.
Ooh, say no more.
Why, Eddie?
He turned up.
And?
Went away again.
Ooh, what a disappointment.
Do you want tea or coffee?
Tea, please.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah, I'm sorry, when you've been living in America, love, you start dreaming of cups of tea.
So, how was everything?
Fantastic.
Nicky?
Oh, he's great, bless him. It's funny, you know. They grow up dead quick over there, don't they?
They grow up dead quick anyway, darling. Did you, find yourself a fella?
Oh, I got expert at fighting them off.
Choosy.
No, I just wasn't on the market. Not that they believe you. I mean, if you're single, you're up for grabs, either that or you're very suspect. You know, one fella wanted to pay for me to see an analyst.
Could have been fun.
You should have seen the analyst. I wanted to lay down on his couch with my eyes closed in a suit of armour.
You look great, you really do.
Thanks. So, what's happening then?
Here? Nothing. Oh, hang on. Ashley, hello, darling. Look, I'm sorry I missed you yesterday, but that chat from Go Call went on and on and on and on. Oh, but it does matter. I felt peeved and positively neglected.
I can see, Ashley's been happening.
You say the nicest things, you really do. Sorry, Di, would you mind the kettle?
Oh, yes. Feel free. Enjoy yourself.
No, not Di a fella, Di a girl.
That's about the only thing the analyst got right. Oh.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Harvey.
Thank you, Paul.
That's a handsome display. I must say you have an expert hand with flowers.
Thank you.
Flowers are so restful, don't you think? A lovely flower arrangement makes people feel peaceful.
Freud says it's because flowers have no emotions and no conflicts. Mind you, when I come to think about it, I'm not so sure. I mean, everyone's heard of a blushing rose.
The place some people put them. I'm not surprised. Excuse me.
Oh, Jane, do stop eating the leftovers. It's disgusting. You'll get fat anyway.
Mrs. Harvey, we're running short of tablecloths. I think we've got enough for lunch, but I'm not too sure about dinner this evening.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know if you remember that the ones we got after the fire weren't very good. They haven't stood up to laundry very well.
Yes, I know we had to scrap a lot of them, but I didn't realise we were that short. This rate, we're going to have to ask all the staff to bring in a couple for lunch.
Actually, we would have been all right if they'd come back on time, but the laundry didn't turn up this morning.
Oh, it didn't, did it? Yes. Well, I shall light a fire under them when I next get to a phone. Mind you, having to rely on the laundry turning up, well, it's cutting it a bit fine, isn't it? Don't worry, I think I've got a couple of emergency tablecloths hidden away, Glenda.
As long as they're not the red check ones from the cafeteria. They'd look a bit funny in here, wouldn't they?
Glenda. Suzette, where's your cap? You've been here long enough. Now, make sure you've got it on before you serve lunch.
Right.
Mrs. Harvey, may I have a word?
Of course.
Over there, if you don't mind. We don't want to be overheard. I'm sure you'll forgive me for saying this, but I think it's best that we have an understanding from the very beginning. I couldn't help overhearing you talking to the girls just now.
Oh, that's all right.
I'm sorry, but it isn't. I'd be grateful if you wouldn't be quite so casual with the restaurant staff.
What?
I haven't overlooked the fact that you are one of the directors of the motel, but I must ask you not to undermine my authority with them by being quite so friendly.
Well, I've always been on friendly terms
Yes,
with the
in
girls.
my experience, that kind of relationship does not bring the best results. Staff become slack and settle for second best.
Yes, but Paul, I mean, these girls, I mean, they're only local girls.
Yes, that is true.
They're not fully trained waitresses.
But they will be by the time I finished with them. Mrs. Harvey, I don't plan to be liked by the staff, only respected and obeyed. As their professionalism improves, so will their self-respect and the restaurant's reputation. In the end, they will thank me for it. And so will you. So please, allow me to establish proper relations with the staff and do not undermine my authority with them by being quite so friendly. The motel hired me for my experience and expertise, and that is my expert advice based on long experience.
Well, we'll see how it all works out. Although I must say I'm rather surprised after your own rather informal attitude towards Rashida yesterday. Mind you, she is rather more attractive than most of the waitresses.
She isn't one of my staff. That is the difference. Mrs. Harvey, I am human, and I prefer to be on friendly terms with everyone who does not work for me, especially attractive young women.
Oh, hello, darling.
There's a call for you. It's the laundry, as long as you're not too busy.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chance. Thank you, Mrs. Harvey.
Well, what do you think?
It's not bad.
Oh, not bad, she says.
Well, when you've been halfway around the world, love. Oh, is that the kitchen? Let's go through
Oh,
there.
no, it's not there anymore.
Have they moved it?
No, them's offices.
Offices? Through that's a bit close, isn't it?
Yeah,
What do they do? Have a spy hole?
There's new offices there and Mr. Hunter's.
Oh. Well, I suppose I better go and tell him I'm back, eh? Let's have a look through here.
Yeah, that's the new bar.
Oh. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. Do they serve coffees out here still?
Yeah, just the same.
Mm.
It's intimate, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of cosy.
Yes, very sort of twosome, you know.
They have music and soft lights in the evening.
Oh, do they throw in a fella for good measure, do they? So, what does Shuey think of his new little kingdom,
It
then?
hasn't improved in it, Lee.
Oh, I suppose he's fast out, really, isn't he?
You're like Mr. Paul.
Hey?
The new head waiter, everybody does.
Oh, I can see I've been away too long, haven't I?
He's got class, you know.
Oh, Lord help us.
Hello. Turned up again, then.
Bad penny?
How are you?
Oh, I'm surviving.
Yes, so are we.
Good.
Ready to start work?
Just fire the gun and I'm away.
Well, what do you think
Hey,
of the place?
how do you mean?
Changes.
Can't say I've noticed any.
But I want to farm this one out, Richard, because it's rather special. We're not geared to it. But I'm not dropping everything else just to accommodate them, am I? Well, are you interested or aren't you? Look, come around, have a look, give me a price and a finishing date, and you can stick to both of them, okay? Right you are. You better believe it. Bye-bye.
That's telling them, kid.
What are you doing here?
I got a new hobby. Visiting the sick. What's the trouble?
Respray on old Albus. It'll hang us up for too long. Sit down.
Ah.
How's things?
Oh, not so bad, really. How are things here?
Usual, you know.
How's Mac making out?
How do you mean?
As foreman.
Oh, fine, fine.
Good. Good, well, I knew he would, really. I'm glad for him. And you, of course.
Thank you.
So you're pretty busy, eh?
Well, not hectic, but, you know.
Well, you got the cars queuing up at the garage door. It can't be bad.
What about you? What have you been up to?
This and that.
Didn't you go abroad?
Yeah. Came back. Thing is, the old country, I can't beat it. I got a job, as a matter of fact, lined up for me at Southampton. Quite a nice little job, but then I got this message about Maeve.
Mavis?
Yep. She's in hospital.
Oh, I'm sorry. She bad?
Well, pretty long, drawn-out job, you know. I got a bit worried when I heard about it, but, you know, when the chips are down, you got to come back and help out. Don't care what they say, really. But there's not a lot of work going on, and I was wondering if, you know, there might be...
No, Sid. It's not on. Mac's doing a great job.
Yeah, well, what about the Alvis? I mean, you haven't seen me with a spray gun, have you?
Sid, honestly, it wouldn't be fair on Mac, would it?
No, I suppose you're right, really. I'm sorry I mentioned it. Forget it. But you know, it's like when the chips are down and, you know, you feel a bit up against it.
Look, Sid, if I hear of anything going...
Yeah, well, don't bother. Don't worry too much. Some it'll turn, I expect. Anyway, see ya.
Yeah,
The reason we asked you to come here was to tell you of a decision that Barbara and I have come to, and to see if you have any objections. Excuse me. Yes. It's for you, Daniel Meath of Branatex, Bermuda.
Thank you. Hello? Yes, of course it's me. What do you want, Daniel? Well, you know the answer to that. You pay nothing on that account. They've been warned. They'll have to stand the loss. Why did you call it? When? Right. Well, I shall be taking care of everything at this end from now on. Thank you.
Tell me, do all big businessmen go in for those high-pressured, enigmatic phone calls? Are you just trying to impress us?
Yes and no, in that order. We do, and I didn't. Now, what was this decision you wanted our approval on?
Actually, we decided to move out of the coach house in the next couple of weeks, and we thought we might move into the private wing. That's if no one objected to us living there.
On the contrary, I'm all in favour of directors living on the premises. Shows dedication to their work and keeps the staff on their toes.
Hello?
Di?
Yep.
It's Jill.
Oh, hello, you.
And what do you mean by coming into the motel
Well,
and not looking me up?
Yeah, I know, but...
Unforgivable.
The thing was, I didn't know you were
Absolutely.
there, did I?
You asked, dear heart.
Well, it's all very well, but it took all my time finding my bearings.
Oh, yes. Did you like it all?
Well, yes, it was nice enough, but working it, well...
Yeah, when are you coming back then?
Well, I fixed it with Mr. Hunter for next week.
Oh, pop in and have a natter before then.
Why, have you got something to tell me?
Noodles.
OK, you're on.
And what about you? Good time?
Oh, great, as usual.
It's a wonder to me you came back to us.
Well, you know, there's nothing like your own home, is there? Bit of peace and quiet. Nothing quite like it.
Look, why don't we have a meal over the weekend?
Yeah, Jill, can I give you a ring, please? There's somebody coming up my stairs and making a noise.
First night back, no queuing up.
Well, I don't know about that. I'll see you, OK. Bye. Hang about. What the heck's going on? Have you forgotten something?
Yeah, to murder my landlady.
Why?
You know she's down. She's let my room.
Oh, no.
A nice, quiet bachelor in aerodynamics. She must fancy him rotten. She's taken 3 months in advance.
Well, I always thought you paid her in advance.
Well, she pushed 60 quid in my hand and told me to push off, so what the hell am I going to do?
Oh, dear.
What?
Well, it's all a question of timing, you see. I was just on the blower when you came up and, well, Terry Wilson's coming round.
Who?
Terry Wilson, the physio from the squash club. Oh, he's fantastic. Mind you, he might only stay a week, but... I'll unpack your stuff.
You little monkey. You had me going there for a minute.
Have myself going and all. Still, you never know, do you?
Terry Wilson.
There's no such person. So we can always live in hope. Pass us the phone book. Hello, darling.
Hello, darling. I already set one up for you.
Oh, thanks. Saved my life. Well, at least my sanity. Cheers.
Cheers. Had a bad day?
Oh, not so much bad as I'm admitting. You know, I'm beginning to think that acting housekeeper and doing the management chores, I'm running my own house. I mean, it's all adding up to about a 27-hour day.
Mrs. Harvey?
Yes, Glenda?
I'm sorry to bother you, but there's a bit of a problem with linen for the restaurant.
Look, I got you the extra tablecloths this morning.
Yes, but the napkins we've got don't quite match, you see, and Mr. Paul was wondering if you had any that would.
It's a pity that Mr. Paul didn't come here to discuss it himself, if indeed it does need any discussion.
Well, he did send his apologies for not coming himself.
Look, how many do you need?
2 dozen?
Yeah, well, OK, I'll be along in about 10 minutes. Now, that'll be OK. There's plenty of time before the restaurant opens.
Right.
It all sounds rather unnecessary and finicky to me.
Mr. Paul is very particular how the restaurant looks, Mr. Chance.
It hasn't taken him long to make his influence felt with the girls.
Not cracking the whip and having them jump through the hoops, you mean?
Oh, no. It's all done with charm, without familiarity. Subdued charisma.
You make him sound a cross between Omar Sharif and Brian Clough.
Look, I'd better go and sort this out, and then we can go home.
Let me have the dinner menu, will you please? Yes.
Where is my husband?
Hello, Valerie.
Oh, so you are here, then.
Yes, I've been expecting you.
I suppose that beastly Daniel Meath told you I was on my way. Well, what is the meaning of this?
All right, Valerie. You made your entrance, and everybody's noticed you.
What?
Now, calm down.
Calm down? After everything you've done? How dare you behave this way? Closing down all my charge accounts, refusing to pay any of my personal bills. What the hell do you think you're playing at? I didn't have a penny.
You're the best-dressed pauper I've ever seen.
And if it hadn't been for Miranda, I wouldn't have even known where you were.
Oh, come off it, darling. Everybody always knows where I am, same as you.
Oh, give him something, Jay. I haven't got any English money. Why didn't you answer my telephone calls and my telexes, damn you?
You knew very well what I wanted. I wasn't going to waste money on transatlantic calls just to argue with you.
An airline ticket to Birmingham, which I couldn't even get refunded.
Yes, I know you well enough to have thought of that. And before you say any more, just be grateful that I authorized payment for any excess baggage.
Well, you've got me here. Perhaps you'd be good enough to tell me what you intend to do.
Have my wife's luggage taken to my chalet, please.
Certainly, sir.
That for a start. I suggest we sit down and have a drink. You may need one. There are going to be some big changes. Like them or not.